Shoot Incorporated, Mr. Marlu J. Caro Barreta. Is he present?
Present.
Okay. Miss Mary Hope Abilo of Team Dugong Bughaw. Is she present? We'll proceed to Miss Anvi Magbanwa, Youth First Initiative Philippines Incorporated. Is she present? Miss Anvi. We'll proceed to Miss Darine Michelle Osorio of Impact Philippines. Miss Darine, are you present? We'll proceed to Miss Elisha Losario Pamida of iLead. Okay.
Present po.
Okay. Next, Miss Gabrielle Nina Guzman Privilegio of iLead Trainings. I'm sorry. We'll proceed to Miss Holiday Sairi Fundal of Iloilo Girl Scout Council.
Present po.
Okay. Mr. Israel Hans Goles of Boy Scouts of the Philippines, Iloilo Council. Mr. Israel Hans. Okay, we'll proceed next to Mr. Leomer Gumawa of Pag-asa Youth Association of the Philippines Incorporated. Mr. Leomer. We'll proceed to Miss Jap Adventura Piñaflor Oliquino of Pag-asa. Okay, I'm sorry. We'll proceed to Miss... Okay, thank you. We'll proceed to Miss Jana May Tamayo Toledo of the Strong Heroes. Miss Jana. And a representative from the Strong Heroes. Okay. We will proceed to Miss Joanna Viena Cuenca Triol of Ugyon Youth Organization. Anyone from Ugyon Youth Organization? Okay. We will proceed to Mr. John Supapo of Dumangas Youth Volunteers Organization.
Present, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Next, Mr. Joseph Bernard Areño Marzan, Youth for Mental Health.
Present.
Okay, thank you. Next is Miss Ressel Joy Macube Frisco of Rotaract Club of Iloilo West. Anyone from Rotaract Club?
Present. Present, Miss.
Okay. Next is Mr. Rayban Sabordo, Voice of Chameleon's Children.
Present, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Miss Rods Shell Sadia.
Present po.
Okay, thank you. Miss Ruby Joy Dazo, Chapter Youth Council of Red Cross Youth.
Good morning. On behalf of the Red Cross Youth, I am Invi Dominic Flores. Present.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Shan Rexis de Tablan of Tiempo Naton Movement. Anyone from Tiempo Naton Movement? Next is Mr. Josh Cesar Sarillo of Partido sang Mainuswagon ng mga Bumulutho. Anyone? Okay, I guess that's it, board.
Okay, thank you. Since our majority are here, so we have a quorum. And for the next, let's proceed to our agenda. Good morning, everyone. How are you all doing? And I hope you are safe kung sa diin man ka mo. If you can open your videos, okay, good. And mute lang anay subong. And if you have questions later, you can raise your hand or ano. So we're having this. We're having our first regular meeting virtually because it's still MECQ here sa city and of course sa province. And it's better that we do this online for now lang para man sa aton safety. So, but according to the IRR of the RA 10742, we must have a quarterly meeting. So this is our first meeting. So thank you all for joining us today. So our first agenda is the committee memberships. So we have this committees so that we can address specific issues or concerns, and we can have a point person or org, no, when we have programs and activities, and also to review and recommend the PPAs and etc. sa 9 areas of participation nga ara sa LYDP that is relevant man sa inyong mga advocacies. Also having this committee is of course to use your specializations or kung sa diin gid mayo no or advocacies nyo, especially sa local youth development plan. So we already made a list which is I'm going to show you so that maka-start kita kag hindi na bala mag-take time kay. Okay. So before we proceed, may I acknowledge the presence of our local youth development officer, Ma'am Janelle. So there. Good morning, Ma'am Ja.
Good morning, everyone.
Okay. Ay, na kayo ma'am sa first agenda.
Sige, board.
Yes.
Go on lang kita. Thank you.
Thank you. So, naka-ubra na kita sang list nga ipakita man naman sa inyo later. So, hindi na kita mag-take time, dugay magpili ay. And also to equally distribute ang organization. So, we have 2 committees per, 2 organizations per committee. So, anyway, this will not restrict you to pitch in or to, of course, to help other committees. So, if you're asking how did we come up with the list, we actually based this on the core advocacies that you passed sa one of the requirements sa kay Sir Adrian. So these are the committees, and here are the members. So the committees, amo na siya ang 9 centers of participation. So pwede kita ka next sa slide. Okay. So on Committee on Health, we have the orgs here. Okay, Chapter Youth, Council Red Cross, Youth Iloilo, Team Dugong Bughaw, I-Lead Trainings, Youth for Mental Health Coalition, and the Dumangas Youth Volunteers Organization. So for our, next please, for the Committee on Education, we have the Pag-asa Youth Association of the Philippines, Ugyon Youth Organization, Team Dugong Bughaw, Voice of Chameleon's Children, Ayala Young Leaders Alumni Association. So next. So the Committee on Security and Peace Building. So we have the Iloilo Girl Scout Council, the Boy Scout Council of the Philippines, Rotaract Club of Iloilo West, tapos ang Dumangas Youth Volunteers Organization. Okay, nakita na ano nyo naman inyong orgs, no? I-send lang naman ang PowerPoint sa inyo para may ara ka mo copy. Okay, for the Committee on Social Inclusion and Equity and Global Mobility, we have the Ugyon Youth Organization, Partido Sang Mainiswagon nga Bumulutho, and Voice of Chameleon's Children, Tiempo Natin Movement, Impact Philippines, First Initiative Philippines. Okay, we have the Committee on Social Inclusion and Equity. We have the Ugyon Youth Organization, the Partido Sang Mainiswagon. Okay, and the Voice of Chameleon's Children, Tiempo Natin, Impact Philippines, Youth First. Next na kita. Next slide, please. Hello? Pwede kita ka next slide. Sorry, kaya ako na laptop, hindi hindi makaano sa PowerPoint. So, isa ko ka-staff ang nag-handle sa PowerPoint. Okay. Okay, ano na. Okay. Okay, so for the Committee on Economic Empowerment, we have the Youth First Initiative Philippines, the Strong Hero, Youth Proyecto, Rotary Club, tapos Boris Youth Leadership Institute. The Committee on Governance, okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 8 organizations: Boris Youth Leadership Institute, Martito Sang Minuswagon, Tempo Nato Movement, Ayala Young Leaders, Impact I Lead, Youth for Mental Health. Okay, next. So Committee on Environment, the Chapter Youth Council, Red Cross, Strong Hero, the Iloilo Girl Scout Council, Boy Scout Council, Youth Proyecto. Okay, so as I've said, we made this list based siya sa core advocacies na pass nyo sa kay Sir Adrian. So this will not limit you to help or to pitch in ideas or kung ano man. This is just para may-ara lang balado groups or para may-ara lang kita sa point persons. So okay naman sa inyo. We'll send the list para makita ninyo. Okay? Okay. May man questions or ano? Okay. So let's proceed. Kay medyo ano ang time, no? Kay daw medyo malawig ni gamay ang pero maskin iran through ko lang ang local development plan pero medyo do laba-laba lang siya gamay. So let's proceed sa aton nga next agenda. Nakita niya naman ang committees. So for our next agenda, it's the local youth development plan. Okay, youth development plan. So I will present to you our draft and we will send this to you after nagari sa chat, no? We'll send this to you. Please check the chat na lang na dira. So this LYDP was supposed to be finalized last year, March 2020. So we already have a draft, and this draft was anchored sa Philippine Youth Development Plan, and we actually intended to conduct a whole day workshop for this, but then the pandemic happened, and because of the pandemic, nag-focus na doon sa lain yung activities, sa COVID responses and other activities. So we also added, na makita nyo karon, we also added the COVID response section sa plan. So as stated sa IRR, sa Republic Act of 10742, the LYDP should be initially drafted by the SK and be finalized sa LYDC. So it can be approved sa Sangguniang Panlalawigan. So i-run through ko ni ang plan sa inyo, and i-run through ko lang kay isa-isa kong tagid siya, though medyo idugay kay i-send ko man sa inyo, anyway i-send ko. So but we are going to give you a copy, of course, and with your respective committees, pwede nyo siya ma-check sa inyong core advocacy since ari madiri ang 9 centers of participation. So we'll also give you time to edit or add PPAs based on your advocacies, and we're also open for comments and remarks on how we improve this plan. So what we want here is realistic, doable plan na ma-achieve natin sa province, and we already have a template for this nga nakabutang ang concerns, objectives, PPAs, priority areas, annual budget, which is the estimated budget. So you can pass your visions or remarks on or before July 14th. So there. Okay, so we can approve or we can finalize this sa July 17th if that's okay with you, if available ka mo. So ano ko guro sa inyo anay ang 9 centers of participation. I'm sure you're familiar. I'm sure balaan nyo na siya, pero i-share ko lang sa inyo. So the 9 centers of participation, ang coverage sini, kaya amo na siya ang gina-prioritize ng Local Youth Development Plan and the Philippine Youth Development Plan. So for health, we have the coverage for health is the nutrition, exercise, medical and dental, sexual, reproductive, and psychosocial health. So for education, we have the educational efficiency and also the quality education and performance. For the economic empowerment, we have the entrepreneurial activities included nila. Of course, ang labor force participation included man, and employment included. So for social inclusion, we have this, the coverage sini is youth with specific needs, youth with disability, indigenous youth, the violence against women, the discrimination, the LGBTQ, and there. So for peace building and for security and peace building, we have this, the coverage is the peace and order, the youth in conflict with the law, and also the drug-dependent youth. Amo na siyang nakabutang sa PYDP. So for governance, ang coverage sini is ang guni ang kabataan, the national elections, local and national elections, and that's it. So the active citizenship, it's the assistance and the volunteerism, the awareness of different organizations, and also the accreditation of the different organizations. So environment, next, environment, it's ang coverage niya is tanan ni environmental activities and practices. So the climate change, tanan nga environmental activities. So for global mobility, we have this the cross-border exchanges, the mga youth trafficking dala sa global mobility. So there. So amo lang to ang overview sa 9 centers of participation. So okay, so next slide please. Okay. So for the concerns may so ang unod sang local youth development plan is the concern, the objective, the PPAs, the priority areas, and the annual budget, pero estimated. So for the local youth as a concern sa health, so we have the increasing number of HIV cases and other sexually transmitted diseases in the province, increasing suicidal rate in the province, and the stigma and discrimination of people with mental illness, the alarming numbers of teenage pregnancy, smoking and drug prevention, limited awareness on health and wellness, the COVID-19 pandemic, and the prevalence of malnutrition. So next, so these are the concerns. So for the increasing the concern, the issues, increasing number of HIV cases and other sexually transmitted diseases in the province. So here are the objectives. So we have to address and mitigate youth participation in sexual risk-taking behavior, lower the incidence of casual sex, STI, HIV/AIDS, and abortion. Okay, next. So here are the PPAs. So as you can see here, we have the symposium forums regarding casual sex, STIs, HIV screening, consultation, established. Ang schedule niya is August. But after this, ano ko man sa inyo. So you can edit, no? Kung may mga man balado, may sala-sala, or you can review this. And also our priority areas is the 5 to 10 municipality with most number of HIV cases. So next. So we have the second concern is the increasing suicidal rate in the province of Iloilo and the stigma and discrimination of people with mental illness. So our objective is to increase mental health wellness practices, increase positive mental health seeking practices, lower suicidal ideation, introduce community-based mental health initiatives, expand service delivery network to address mental health issues, normalize mental health seeking behavior. So next. So here we have the programs. So institutionalizing mental health programs in schools in partnership with DepEd, institutionalizing mental health desk in the municipalities, seminars and lectures for the awareness campaigns about mental health. So okay. So next. So we have social media campaigns. I think this is dala naman niya siya sa budget ni Tanano. And also the support group and mental health hotline or the Kaibigan chatline, which is currently, we are currently doing this, no? Ang Kaibigan chatline. Gina-draft sa province. So next. So Project Prime, this is an initiative from the province of Iloilo and also the Task Force Pag-asa. Ongoing na niya. And also we have the institutionalization of the DOH peer facilitators model table. So yes, next. So the third concern is the alarming numbers of teenage pregnancy. So we have objectives. So to delay sexual debut, to lower the incidence of teenage pregnancy, to lower the incidence of unintended pregnancy. So U4U Teen Trail, actually we before the pandemic, we already did this, no, ang U4U Teen Trail. Unfortunately, we haven't continued nga ang U4U Teen Trail because of the pandemic. So we galagaw kami sa mga schools, kakadto kami sa mga high schools para for this U4U Teen Trail. And also we have this seminar on responsible parenting and reproductive health. Okay, so next. So for smoking and drug prevention, we have objectives to decrease cigarette smoking, to organize events on mitigation and drug-free living. So we have the anti-drug campaign, the strengthening of the kabataan kontra droga, since it's ari na di siya nga daan sa the PYDP. Next. Also, the limited awareness on limited awareness on health and wellness. So we have objectives to provide adolescent vaccine in public schools and health centers, to increase active lifestyle, to increase medical and dental attention. So we have this seminars and workshops, bloodletting drive, medical and dental consultation. Next. Okay. So for COVID-19 pandemic, so for the objectives, it's to increase awareness and help disseminate proper information about COVID-19 and COVID-19 vaccines. Okay. So ari ang COVID-19 gindugang na lang ni siya namon this year. So para may ara lang kita better response. And I think we are still uncertain kung saan matapos ang COVID. So ginbutang na naton. And for the COVID-19 pandemic, we have this prevention campaigns. Let's just strengthen kung ano ang ara sa campaigns or pwede makita kadugang. And we also have this youth resiliency in COVID-19 pandemic, which we actually did last January. We nag-train kami sa the SKs in the new normal. So there. So for the COVID-19 vaccine information campaign. Okay na siya. So the next is the prevalence of malnutrition. So the objectives is to increase good nutrition practices, to decrease hunger among youth. Okay. So to conduct accelerated hunger mitigation programs, to organize volunteer leaders for health, organize events on health, diet, proper nutrition, as well as in sports. Okay, proper nutrition education campaign. Okay, so next, so the concerns for education. So we have increasing number of out-of-school youth, computer addiction and peer influence, gyapon, bullying and discrimination, lack of motivation among students to continue being in school, limited support for athletes, talented and academically competent youth, limited support for academically and financially challenged youth. So next. So we have the first concern is increasing number of out-of-school youth. So the objectives is to increase number of out-of-school youth, formalize interventions, motivate student dropouts to return school. So for our intervention is we to have a conduct mobile library, educational caravan, the student undergraduate mentoring program, and of course to strengthen the programs in the school. Next, for the OSYs. So the computer addiction and peer influence. So for the objectives, we have to address the increasing number of to address the increased number of computer addiction among youth, institutionalized parental participation in school. Next. So it's a strict enforcement of ordinance banning student in internet cafes during class hours. So there's actually an ordinance now banning student in internet cafes. So promotion of laro or palarong Pinoy. Next. So bullying and discrimination. We had to decrease the number of incidents and cases against bullying and discrimination issues. So next. So ano ang mga programs and activities for that? So we have to conduct an orientation about anti-bullying and anti-discrimination, social media awareness, campaigns against bullying and discrimination, conduct collaborative workshops among national agencies and NGOs addressing different youth. So okay, next. So the fourth concern on education is the lack of motivation among students to continue being in school. So we have to provide programs and activities for the students. Actually, kulang na siya. We need more para sa dire. So our program na nakabutang lang is the Brigada Eskwela. So next. The fifth is to limited support for athletes and talented and academically competent youth. So for our objectives is to provide support to athletes and those youth through program ordinances and scholarships. So we actually have ara pa siya sa second reading, I guess, ang ordinance nga for the ang maghatag sang recognition or reward for the coaches and the youth nga athletes nga nagdaog internationally and locally. So for here, aton naman yung objectives is to Summer Sports League, PPA Summer Sports League, inter-school academic and cultural programs, support Congressional District Sports Association. Okay, next is to give rewards and recognition to Iloilo Provincial athletes and their coaches who excel in different sporting events or competitions. Okay, so for next is the limited support for academically and financially challenged youth. So we have objectives, so increase functional literacy rate, improve academic performance, strengthen and bridging programs to address functional illiteracy. So next, so provide scholarships for indigent and indigenous youth of the community. So we actually have this at SWDO, no? And we also have the establishment of Barangay Reading and Information Center. So next is to provide educational materials and financial support to promote remote schools. So next is the alternative learning system programs and educational livelihood programs. So next, So for for the concerns on security and peace building, we have 4. So cyberbullying and other cyber crimes, limited awareness of youth on crimes and human rights, increase the number of crimes and offenses involving youth, increasing number of drug-related cases involving youth. Okay, so to decrease the number of incidents, of course, and cases against cyberbullying and cybercrimes issues. So may kita dari PPA, so conduct seminar about online sexual exploitation and cyberbullying, social media awareness campaigns. Next, we have the limited awareness of youth on crimes and human rights, so strengthen youth participation in promoting peace and order to decrease human rights violation against youth. So seminar and lectures about basic rights and Bill of Rights, illegal searches and seizures, workshops on basic self-defense. Okay, next. So we have increasing number of crimes and offenses involving youth. So next. So we have to organize events, programs regarding common reasons, causes, make the youth offenders delinquent and youth in conflict with law. So we have to support the Batang Pandilya program of the PNP. I think going pa na siya. Next. So increasing number of drug-related cases involving youth. So we have the anti-drug campaigns among youth and youth organizations. So we have the KK, the Kabataan Kontra Droga. We have the we also have the different organizations that are participating sa Amasine. So next. So here, ari ang mga institutionalization of Barangay Anti-Drug Abuse Council or the BADAC, which ang SK dala na dira sa BADAC, and also the KKDAT or the KKDA. So the Youth Congress, we have to have a Youth Congress on drug abuse prevention and control. So next. Capacitate LYDC Federation members and youth serving organizations in conducting anti-illegal drug campaigns. So we have social inclusion and equity. So we have the concerns is the discrimination against LGBTQ plus community, the limited support to PYDs, the limited support for indigenous people youth, increasing number of violence against women and children related cases. So actually, okay, so discrimination against LGBTQ plus community. So increase awareness among youth and the community about different sexual orientation and gender identity. Next. So we have to have a seminar regarding gender sensitivity, sexual orientation, and anti-discrimination. So to elevate the discourse on ZOG discrimination by organizing discussions among LGBT and the community. So Pride March. We actually have, next slide. We actually have, before Mount proceed sa PYDs now, we actually have the LGBT plus week. There is a province which was passed. I'm not sure if nakapasubong or last time. So we have action ordinance about the LGBTQ. So I think we should also include that. We need to strengthen. Okay, so next is the limited support to PYDs. So our objectives: increase the facilities, services, support for the following youth with disability. Okay. So strengthening ordinances, supports the PWDs, supports sports and cultural programs, and events for and with the YWD. Okay. Sheltered programs for persons with disability. We have sa province ng Iloilo, we actually have also an ordinance na again passed last time, I think, or Magna Carta for the PWDs. So I think we also should include it now. So next. So limited support for indigenous people and youth. So improve economic and social conditions of IP youth, increase the presence of IP youth in society. Okay, so medical and dental mission, cultural program, workshop proper hygiene and sanitation, immersion drive, seminars on the rights and livelihood and vocational trainings and programs. So next, the increasing number of violence against women and children related cases. So to decrease incidents or reported cases. So next. So we have the International Women's Day celebration, youth forums on existing vacancy laws. Next. Okay, the youth development concerns on economic empowerment. So our concern is we have limited job opportunities. We have limited pre-employment and trainings. We have limited education on financial management, limited support to agricultural sectors and young entrepreneurs. Okay. So next. So these are the objectives. Next. Okay. So we have to support the program of PESO. It's the Job Start program, the STEP, the TWSP, the SPES. Actually, may ara kita SPES sa office mo. So next. Next. Okay, we have to seminar or public speaking skills, training, and training siguro. And pre-employment trainings and seminars. So next. So we have limited education on financial management and savings. Okay, next. Seminar on financial management, savings, and investments. Actually, we had a webinar series on financial management, on investments last year, and we want to continue it. So next. So limited support on agricultural sectors and young entrepreneurs. Next. Sustainable livelihood programs, enhancing knowledge to agriculture and fisheries extension program. We can partner this with the Department on Agriculture. There is a province and conduct events and programs to support Producto Local. The Youth Entrepreneur Support Program. Next. The Promotion Negosyo Centers, trainings and seminars, the Entrepreneurship Camp. The 4th Entrepreneur Program of the Iloilo Provincial Government. So this was launched last year, I guess. Last year or last year. But it's still ongoing, so we will continue it. Next. So on governance. Okay. Next. Okay, for the concern, we have the youth participation to strengthen civil service among youth, fully engaged and empowered citizenry. So next. Boy and girl officials, we have Linggo ng Kabataan activities. So we passed an ordinance on institutionalizing the Linggo ng Kabataan. So we have here the activities sa Linggo ng Kabataan. So next. So we have limited engagement of youth and youth serving organization to capacitate the LYDC. Next. So we already institutionalized the LYDC. We already nag-oath na kita so ari na kita subong sa ato the first meeting, and to conduct trainings and seminars and programs with LYDC quarterly. So naka-istorya naman ko sa iba ng mga may organization na willing mag-train sa LYDC, and also later I will ask you kung ano pagid ang pwede mabulig sa provincial government sa LYDC sa tanan nga organizations sa province to capacitate skills, and also maybe here to kung ano gid bala ang contributions ng LYDC. So we have a youth hub. So youth hub, we plan nga mabutang, pero do tentative pa na siya because this is a big amount, but we also want to make this possible. And if you have any suggestions on how do we go about this youth hub, open gid kita. Okay, next. Decreasing involvement of youth in the societal issues of the country. So we have leadership trainings and seminars. We also had our SK Congress last 2018 pa. And we didn't continue 2019 because of the financial problems of the SK. because of ang independence balasang SKs and the autonomy of the SKs ang medyo nabudlayan pag open back accounts, and so that's why pero i-continue man na gyapon natin. So next. So youth development concerns on active citizenship. So vote turnout, youth participate in the election, and limited support and established youth organizations and in the community. So next. Next. So conduct a campaign for common registration. Next. Limited support and established youth organizations. Okay, next. Okay, support youth advocacies, giving recognitions and award for youth organizations. Okay. So for the environment, okay, here are the concerns. And next. And also here, next. And ari ang mga programs and PPA. So strict implementation of the single-use plastic ordinance. So, well, we have an ordinance sa province, and gusto natin na i-implement maayo and our strict implementation. And yes, next. The lack of proper segregation of garbage. Next. Support Limpio Iloilo, the eco-brick workshops of the Penro, the seminar on proper waste management, Penro, we can partner with Penro also, the REPADS project. So Limpio ng Iloilo is actually an initiative also sa provincial government. Next. So increasing deforestation. Next. The Tanom ng Iloilo is also an initiative sa provincial government, and we also want this to ma-support kita since this is usually gin-launch ini siya sang June 25, our birthday. And yeah. Limited education and involvement on climate change, of course, to reduce the increasing rate of climate change. So we have the Earth Hour program, the Climate Resilience Week Ordinance Iloilo. Actually, we sponsored this, and it's now on its third reading. I-approve na lang siya next week. So, i-support na ang ordinance. So the Youth Provincial Convention on Climate Resiliency, which is included also in the Climate Resiliency Week sa mga activities. So we have Disaster Risk Reduction and Climate Change Adaptation Program. Okay, we have here the drills and trainings on the different kinds of disasters, man-made or natural. Okay, next. Youth development concerns on global mobility. I think this is the last participation. So one concern is the absence of opportunity and support for international competitions and programs. So next. Next. So we have to support for exchange students, international competitions events. So we have an annual budget of 100. Okay, next. Okay. Amo lang na siya ang aton nga nga LYDP, and I'm sure damo pa siya sang kulang na information, and I mean dumayara pa makulang, and if you think there's something na do off, you can always contact us kay ihatag man is namon sa inyo for review, for revisions and remarks. And anyway, 1 week, I think 1 week enough naman for the revisions. Okay, if you can send this in your revisions and remarks, if you can send it on or before July 14. So pwede na natin siya tani ma-finalize sa July 17. We are also man kita sa time kay tani mapas na tani ni siya naton subong, and also para na naton siya sa mapa-approve na naton siya sa body sa sangguniang panlalawigan. So kay since lapit na lang ang ang filing of ano ba sila medyo mabudlayan kita magpa-approve since dako ni siya nga budget kag may mga offices nga ipang partner. So once again, please pass your revisions or remarks on or before July 14th. I think it's enough, no? 1 week. Since ang inyo nga focus is sa inyo man yung mga advocacies, pero if you have ideas or suggestions on other sa iba nga 9 centers of participation, mas hindi siya sa inyo nga core advocacy, pwede gid siya. And I think it's better nga makaistoryahanay ka mo with your committee members, no? Para maistoryahan nyo man. And yes, if you have questions while ga-add ka mo or ga-edit ka mo or if ga-review ka mo, pwede nyo gid kami makontak. There. So, amo na siya. So, okay naman. Okay lang sa inyo nga okay lang sa inyo nga July 14 nga i-pass. Kaya para ma-edit pa namon and ma-check namon, para sa July 17 we can meet again. Wala ta kabalo kung face to face since hasta lang ang MACQ hasta lang sa July 15 sa province. So sa province and sa Iloilo City. So maybe we can meet again face to face or virtual naman diwan for the finalization of the local youth development plan. So naman na-send naman sa inyo ang plan na may hindi ka open. Hi,
Okay
Ro.
na po.
Ay, okay.
May nag-send na sa GC.
Okay.
PYTC. Thank
okay.
you.
Okay. Okay. Please check na lang ang aton nga local youth development plan. So we can finalize it on July 17. So, okay? Okay na nga ma-proceed kita.
Yes po.
Okay. Okay. So, okay naman, no? Again, liwatan ko lang, please pass your revisions or remarks and also ang mga activities nga medyo kulang. So, mga medyo kulang. So, ma-finalize naton sa July 17. Okay? So, next. Ang aton nga next agenda is Linggo ng Kabataan. Okay. Lapit na lang ang Linggo ng Kabataan, the International Youth Day, and we also want you to be part sa provincial celebration sa International Youth Day, sang actually month kay do medyo lawig nga ito sa bang. Our theme for this year is transforming food systems, youth innovation for human and planetary health. So we plan to celebrate this from August 12 to 30. So from August 12 to 30, every week, if you are willing, no, we would like you to host a webinar or seminar. So each organization. So, and what we can do to help you is to find participants. Kamo lang ma-host, kamo sang speakers. Ang amon nga ma-help sa inyo is to find participants to help you with the Zoom, the technicalities. And so if you want nga mag-join sa amo sini nga webinar, no, each week, lain-lain nga organization ang ma-host. So from August 12 to 30. So if you want, ihambal nyo na daan sa amon. So just tell us your preferred date from August 12 to 30. So we can already schedule it. No, para you can choose the topics nga related sa 9 centers of participation. Or that is also nga may relevant man sa transforming food systems. Or depende man sa inyo. You can choose topics man kung ano inyong gusto. And we'll support you. So that's it. May questions? about sa Linggo ng Kabataan? Wala man. Okay man. If you want nga may additional question. Okay. What do we decide? Yes. My question day, do we decide the topic for the webinar or there will be a given topic to discuss? So, you will decide kung ano inyong gusto nga i-webinar. And ipa-check, pwede okay lang kung ipa-check na lang anay para hindi bala mag-doble-doble. So, or you can choose na lang nga kung anong inyong. How long? Do you mean how long ang webinars? How long will it take? Okay. Well, it really depends sa inyo. It depends sa inyo. Usually, ang webinar para sa man bala sa attention span man sa mga kabataan. Well, it usually an hour or okay lang sa inyo na an hour or mas dugang. Actually depende man siya sa inyo kung hasta ano oras ang inyong nga gusto nga gusto nyo nga i-webinar. Okay? Yes. May ara pagid other questions. Okay mana, okay lang mana answer ko man ang inyong question. It really depends sa inyo kung kung hasta saan nyo gid nga pila ka hours nyo gusto. Pero usually an hour or na siya, no? An hour or 2 hours. Okay? Okay. May pagid other questions? You can choose the topic sa 9 centers of participation. Or if you have topics, you can also present this first to us nga para lang ma-check naton, and also para hindi ta mag conflict sa iban man nga topics nga ihatag sa iban nga organization. Okay? So wala naman questions ang iban. Wala naman other questions. Anyway, pwede maka-contact man directly sa amon or call sa office kung may pagid iban na questions. Okay. Okay, what else? So, wala na kita. Tapos na kita sa Linggo ng Kabataan. So, other matters. So, that's it. So, announcements. Please pass for your revisions or remarks sa LYDP on or before July 14. Anyway, hindi man gid na super long since ang inyong gina-focus ang inyong mga advocacies, no? Pero you're not limited nga mga ma-focus ng mandira. So we can finalize this and approve and finalize this sa July 17. So there. I'm actually excited na tani makikita na kita kay to kabudlay man mag-online. I prefer really the face-to-face. And there, if you have any announcements or if you have any programs, yes. Yes, you can. Minutes. Okay. We will send the minutes of the meeting sa inyo and sa group chat na lang. Okay. Thank you. If you have any announcements or may ara ka mo nga programs, nga gusto i-share, pwede nyo ma-unmute and announce na lang. May ara ka mo future programs nga anyone? Wala? Okay.
Hello po, Miss Bianca. So, the Youth Project Philippines is actually planning to hold like a talk show. Like I think we're planning to have it like once or twice every month. So we will be having a talk show. I think it's gonna be online, and then we will be talking about the different topics siya actually. So we're not really sure what the topics are yet. Pero so far, I think we're touching with mga nutrition month. So far, I think I'm gonna meet. So wala pa man kami sure ka date, pero we will be planning to have at least one or two this month.
Thank
Thank you
you.
po.
Thank you so much. I-update mo lang kami ha sa inyo nga para may maka-participate man ang mga
Yes po.
organization.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone, may ara pa gusto mag-share sa ilang mga programs or future programs? Okay, wala na? Again, thank you guys so much for taking your time nga maka-attend sa subong meeting. Actually, tani maka face-to-face nga meeting na kita, no? I'm actually excited to work with all of you, and again, thank you so much. I hope nga we'll have another productive nga meeting sa next naton nga sa finalization. Kaya dito na lang kita I think it will medyo madugay-dugay aton nga meeting sa next next meeting naton. Kung available ka mo sa 17 or okay? So again, if there's thank you so much again, guys. If wala na kita, since we don't have any matters to discuss, and I move to adjourn the meeting. So any second? Okay. Okay. So since wala naman kita I move to adjourn the meeting. Okay? The meeting is adjourned. So see you all on the 17th, or we will update you na lang sa next time. And if we can meet face to face na, and we will update you kung saan magada. But pwede maskin gitane sa July 17 para mas aton dasig aton nga hulag, hindi madula aton nga momentum na. So okay, so see you all on 17, either virtual or face to face. Once again, thank you so much again for attending aton nga first virtual meeting. So thank you, Ma'am Ja, for attending, and also sa tanan nga organizations nga nag-attend. See you all. Thank you so much. Pwede before we go, Guro, ma-picture kita, Anay. Okay, kindly please turn on your cameras. Okay. Ako na lang ma-screenshot. Okay. Isama lang ni Kaana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. 18 man lang kita, so isa lang na siya ka page. So, okay. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, isa pa. Okay. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay. Thank you so much, Luwat, guys. May meeting. Okay lang. Mayari ka man yapon picture, Joseph. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much po. God bless everyone.
God bless. Please i-pass niyo yung
Thank you po.
Revisions, or kung gusto niyo, kung mayroon ka mo questions about sa LYDP, pwede niyo agad kami ma-contact anytime. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Lord, thank you. God
Thank you. Good
bless.
Thank you, Gid.
Sorry, I'm late kagina.
Wala ka kaso. Thank you, Ma'am Ja. Isend ka lang, Ma'am Ja, ang mail.
Yes, sige, sure.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay,
you.
bye.
Yan. Kita na walang bilin.
Ha?
Kita na walang bilin.
Kita na lang. Kita na lang.
Oo.
Kita na lang eh. Tayo na lang.
Oo. Ay, ano mo na
Wala.
record?
Mayo lang. Okay, thank you. Kita na lang de.
Oo.
Oo.
I-off mo na record.
Hala. Hala. May nag-alarm. Off ko na